Welcome to Women with a Call, a magazine talk show which explores women's issues whether in the marketplace or in ministry. We thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to Women with a Call. Our goal is to speak with women about what God has done or what He's doing now in their lives. And in some cases, we will talk with them about what their expectations are for the future. My guest today, Pastor Sonia Haylett, has a very interesting background, and she's going to share with you what God has done in her life from the very time that she can remember back in Europe. So I want to welcome you, Pastor Sonia Haylett.
God bless you. It's a
I've
pleasure.
already said that we've got to talk about Europe. Okay, so tell me about where you were born, all these different places you lived. Okay.
Okay. I was born in Paddington, England, and I went to live in Jamaica at age 4 years old. I went through high school there and then came to New York, or went to New York because I don't live there now. I've lived here for the last 2 years, pastoring here in Albuquerque.
So you were born in England.
Yes.
Do you remember anything about it at all? I see you were very young, but
Yes,
anything?
I was very young. I guess my mom taught me my address, so I always remembered it. And I
Okay.
visited back in 2003, and I went back to the home that I lived in when I left there at 4 years
So
old.
do you have family members who are still living in that
Yes,
home?
I do. I have uncles and cousins there.
So what was England like to you, the little portion that you can recall?
I guess I just think of the weather.
Yes,
I was
okay.
in Chicago and saw the L train, and I thought, I think that reminds me of England. So I had to think that it was taking me back. I had that memory. And so when I went back, I didn't get the opportunity to go on the trains, but I pray God I will have another
Yes.
opportunity.
So now from England, you went to
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yes.
All right. So tell me about Jamaica.
And I lived in Jamaica. I went to high school, well, prep school, high school,
Okay.
and business school, and then came to live in New York, or went, I should say, to live in New York in 1975.
Business school, what did you study? What
I
was your major?
started, well, I started to do commercial there, and then when I went to New York, I went to Long Island University and I got a bachelor's in accounting.
In accounting.
Yes.
Do you use accounting now as in
No,
ministry? But you can,
but
right?
I can. Yes, I've done it in the past because I've been in the position of treasurer at my former church.
All
in
right.
New
So
York.
you mentioned New York. Was it Brooklyn?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have this contrast. Okay. Well, is it very much of a contrast between Brooklyn and Jamaica?
Well, you have the culture in the sense that you see the people and you can get the food stuff there.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. You mean in Jamaica?
Yes, and you can get that in New York,
Okay.
the food stuff that you get there. And
Just-
the culture is there because you have a West Indian culture in New York.
So it's almost like being home, would you say, or not really?
Weather-wise, no.
Oh, okay.
Weather-wise,
No,
no.
yes.
Yes, so that's made the difference, having to learn to live in the cold.
So when you were living in Brooklyn, were you pastoring? Because we know you were a pastor. Were you
No.
pastoring there?
No, I didn't pastor
Okay, tell us
there,
about your
but I was
experiences.
active in ministry.
Okay.
I was involved in Sunday school in one church, did missionary work there also by going to Belize back. I visited Belize back in 1990, I think it was, for the first time. And then I'd gone back on my own in 1999 when I distinctly heard the Lord say to go to Belize.
You heard the Lord
Yes,
speak to you to go
distinctly.
to a nation?
Yes.
Now tell us about the hearing, because we know God speaks in different ways.
Yes.
We know about the audible.
And that was exactly what it was.
Are you saying you heard him speak to you audibly?
In a church
You-
service. I was sitting in
Really?
church
Okay.
and I heard him say Belize so distinctly. And so I spoke to my pastor about going. and I went on 3 occasions.
And you ministered there?
Yes, I ministered at nights, and I did more or less vacation Bible school with the children in the days.
Now, you mentioned Sunday school,
Correct.
and now you're telling us about vacation
Vacation
Bible
Bible
school.
school.
Now, you're going to have to help us out.
Okay.
Okay. Because, you know, in various cultures, some people don't know about Sunday school.
Uh-huh.
Now, I grew up in the South,
Right.
and we had vacation Bible school
Okay.
for a week.
Uh-huh.
I would go to my grandmother's church for the 1 week.
Right.
I would go to my mother and father's church for the next week. We had 2 weeks of it, 2 different churches.
Right.
But can you just kind of give us a distinction between
Sunday school.
Sunday school, what that's all about,
Okay.
and vacation Bible school?
Okay.
All right.
Sunday school is usually that you would have that, at least in New York, you had it before church,
Okay.
before church services.
Before the church. Okay.
And we started as young as kindergarten and went as high as the elderly. So it was arranged, and we had different classes. And so I was involved with teaching for a couple of years. I taught the primary class. And then I'd left New York, went to Jersey to live, and then
So
moved
you
back.
live in Jersey too?
Yes, I've been around.
Yes.
And then so I came back to New York, and then I became the superintendent, which involves more from an administrative perspective and working with the teachers, but still being or encouraging them to do visitation, because visitation was so important as a part of our Sunday school.
Oh, okay, so that was connected with the Sunday school
Yes.
project or curriculum, can you
Right,
say?
it was part of, we required that teachers would visit homes, because that's when you get to know
Oh,
a parent and you see
yes.
the child in their environment.
Okay, now tell us about Vacation Bible School.
Okay, Vacation Bible School, at least in the Caribbean, and even in New York, and the same in going, it was more doing, you would have a theme for a week, and you would teach with application. But at the same time, they'd also get to do arts and craft. They may learn to do dances. It could be, the artsy part of it.
So was Vacation Bible School during the day or evenings? Or
Yes,
did it
during the
vary?
day. Yeah, during the day is what I was involved with.
Because
And it was usually for a week.
Oh, okay. Because
Uh-huh.
I remember as a
Yes.
child, we went during the day.
Right.
From like 8 in the morning until noon.
Correct.
You know,
Oh, they did it maybe
all day?
from, yes, maybe until about maybe 2 o'clock or there
Oh, okay.
around. Yes.
Really?
And then, but when I went to Belize, we did it maybe from 12 to about 5.
Now, did you have a specific mission for Belize when you were first called to go there?
I just
That you can
knew
remember.
that I heard the Lord say it. I got in touch with the contact that I had there, and I was allowed to minister at nights, which was a blessing, because
Yes.
that was like my first time doing
Oh,
that.
all right.
And then, but working with the children was my normal call.
Uh-huh.
That was what I felt my call was at that time. So,
So you have understood a call to children,
yes.
but
And,
now...
and I must say this, I forgot this. I was involved with Child Evangelism Fellowship
All right,
also.
so child evangelism
Yes, so I
is-
got involved with them
Okay.
back in the 2000s. So,
All right, well,
yes.
that's good. And so
Yes.
when we come back from
Okay.
break, we want to discuss what you're doing now.
Okay.
You've been several places.
Yes, I have.
Okay, but we're going to talk about what you're doing now.
Okay.
And I'm just really interested too because you're an educator.
Okay.
That's one of my fortes.
Thank you.
So for those who don't know, again, they're watching Women with a Call.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
And I am the host, Dr. Elizabeth Harrison.
Bless God.
Okay.
Bless
So we'll be
God.
back shortly.
Thank you.
Okay.